Hello, in this video I would like to talk about men and dating and my experiences in the relationships that I have had. And I tended to get my share of boyfriends that was after school, and I've dated more than a couple of people, and hands up, okay, in a couple of the relationships that I was doing all the wrong things, especially one person in particular comes to mind. But the point is, I was not good at listening to other people's advice, and people tried their hardest to explain to me of how I ought to date and what I should not be doing. Now, you'd think that I'd actually pay attention and I'd listen to all the things that people are telling me. Well, I did listen. It went in here, it did a quick circuit and went back out because I was not ready to hear it. And so as a result, I made all the mistakes possible. And guess what? At the end of the day, I learned. But the point is, your mom or your older sister, if you have one, or your mate or your aunt or someone closest to you can give you all the relationship advice possible, but it's one thing listening to them, it's another thing putting it into practice. I hate to say it, but you need to make your own mistakes, because unfortunately for some people that is how some people learn. And I made all of my mistakes, and then afterwards I would love to share my experiences. Well, after this one relationship was over, I thought about getting him back, and I'm thinking, I need to do something about it. So I went on the internet and I signed up for this website. So every so often I would email me a couple of things that times, and this is the best advice that I can give to anybody out here, and it is, imagine a scenario where a boy or a man is getting into a hot tub. Okay, just imagine this just for a second. He puts his toe in. It's a bit hot, but it's airable. He puts his foot in, and then he earns it and he away. But then he comes back, puts his toe in, puts his foot in, and slowly, piece by piece, he puts his whole body into water, into this hot tub. But he has to feel comfortable in getting into this hot tub. If there is pressure too hot, he can't cope. He's gonna pull out completely, and this is the aim with getting into a relationship with a man. He has to feel comfortable. He needs to take it at his own pace. Give him time to make himself be comfortable, because if you put pressure on him and he's not sure or he's not ready, he is going to pull out again, and it's impossible to get him back. Basically, to date and to be successful at dating, surprise, it's not all about men. It's actually about taking care of yourself. It is, because if you take good care of yourself and you go out and you eat out and you do lots of things, it means you are an interesting person with social life, and then they gravitate to the people who are out there. Have you ever heard this saying? It's when you are looking for a guy or a man, you can never ever get into a relationship with another person. You can't. And at times I think that's the biggest mistake women actually make, because to look for men and trying to find love in all the wrong places. It never happens. Never happens. In my life, when I have got into a relationship with another person, it has always been when I least expect it. Always. It's always happened when I've least expected it. And I was also given a little bit of advice, which I might have mentioned in another video, is that if you are with the correct guy, the perfect guy for you, there is nothing that you can do to make him go off you. Because actually, if a guy is interested in you enough to get into a relationship with you in the first place, and if he cares about you, if he really cares about you, he will not go off you. You have to do something really major. But the point is, I mean, you hear lots of stories about young teenagers if they walk into the room and they at school or whatever, and they fall over, and their boyfriend thinks, you've fallen over, I'm gonna go with this next person. It doesn't work like that at all. It's more complicated. To be in a relationship with someone, it does have to have a little bit of depth. I mean, don't get me wrong at all. You can't always judge a book by its cover, but you have to be attracted to him in the first place. Because if there's no attraction there, what's to stop you when a more attractive person comes by and tries to get your attention? It's not going to work. You need to have an attraction going. You need to have an attraction going, and you need to be able to talk to each other. Now, I have a fiance who was a little bit nervous when I first got to know him. So I made the first move. And I gave him a kiss. But I would not have done that at all if I knew he was not interested in me at all. I just would not do that. occasionally it is okay to make the first move if you're either a little bit unsure or a little bit nervous. You've got to know that he likes you and would not push you away. And this is what I've learned, and this was, how old was I at the time? I was about, I don't know, 20, 25 perhaps. I had enough of and I just had enough, and all I wanted was to have a good time with all my mates, and we went out uptown. We'd be in back of the taxis, you know, and we would have great, nice times. But the whole point of acing it does not mean that you are actively looking for another person, because that does not work out. Doing it that way does not work out. You need to have your own life. One mistake that I actually made was, and on a Tuesday in the evening I'd go to Pilates, and this was in the gym uptown, and I was 18, and every so often he would ask me if we could meet up on a Tuesday, and I thought, well, at that time I Pilates, and I thought, well, I could miss it. Was this once, and then I missed it, and another time, and the next time after that. Basically, I was becoming too available, and because I was becoming too available, he could control me. He could control me of when he wanted me, what time, and I felt like that he was angling a carrot stick and saying, come and get it. And I'm thinking, oh my god, this has happened to me once before. What am I gonna do? I mean, I want to see him, but this feels wrong and robbing me of my dignity and my pride. And I'm just like, yeah, okay, I suppose I can come. Of course I'll come. So I would always I wouldn't see him. But the point is that I always thought in my head, I pull out all the stops possible to get you to go out with them. And once you are in a relationship with them, then they turn, the control shifts. And I was always like, I'm not in control anymore, he is controlling me. And let's just say it was not kind of a nice feeling at all. In here, it didn't sit right, and I did not know what to at all. But after the breakup I had, the last breakup I had, I went on the internet because I'm thinking I've had enough of being hurt and let down, and I think I was a little bit upset, but he had the decency to break up with me across the phone. I'd never had any of my exes do that at all, so I suppose he was doing me a kindness in a respectful way. I did want more of a relationship with him rather than someone he could just have sex with, because I actually asked him this question because I was at his house, and I said, which is what I said to him, that and I can have sex with you. I've had it before. I mean, I can have it with you, but I want to know what this would actually mean to you. Because I know if I started to have sex with him, then he would mean more to me than he actually was. And it went back and forwards, and eventually he did give me an answer, and he did break up with me on the phone. And I think I handled it really well on the phone, and I listened to him, and he said, well, you're looking for a relationship. Well, I'm not in that place. And he was actually quite nice about it, actually. But anyway, I was a little bit upset afterwards. And then I thought, well, I am going to eat properly. So I went on the internet, I looked up lots of different things across the internet, and I came across this website